What's happening, everyone? SconzE here with more Danganronpa. Hopefully we can finish this game up soon. I am so ready to move on, play something else. I love Danganronpa, one of my all-time favorites, but I've been playing this game for so long. It's like, if it was my first time playing, then I'd be all in for it. But it's my second time playing through. You know, we're doing it in preparation for Danganronpa 2x2, and it's like, we do 2 videos a day on the channel. You know, 2 different games, you know, but obviously one of Danganronpa each day, Monday through Friday at least. You know, the weekends we do our free play, as I, have labeled it for now, where, I just play random stuff, online multiplayer, other one-offs, things like that. But for Danganronpa, so this is episode 61, maybe? Actually, no, I don't know. This is episode 60-something. It's whatever it is. That's like 60-something days of Danganronpa. I'm like, oh my gosh, we've been playing this for like 2 months straight, I think. Like, come on. Gosh, we gotta get through this. But it's like, we've made it so far. We can't stop. We gotta finish it up. Alright, what's going on, Kyoko? Kyoko, do you still have that one thing? Monokuma's secret tool that you got from the headmaster's room? Of course I do. It's an absolutely vital part of ensnaring the Mastermind. I would never part with it. And it can open any door in the school, right?
That's right.
That's right. Then we should be able to use it on that door, right? So... let's go. Hey, Kyoko, we can use that key of yours to open this door, right?
It's true.
Let's find out. Let's find out? I hope so, otherwise we're trapped forever, and, well, that's the game. Kyoko took out the key with the Monokuma design on it and slid it into the keyhole. And then... yes! It opened!
Indeed.
Time to leave, and now we can get out of here. Let's go. Sounds good. We quickly opened the door and made our escape from the garbage pit. Finally. We were finally free. There weren't even time to take a breath of relief, because of the real fight had just begun. Ultimate pain, ultimate suffering, ultimate despair, ultimate execution, ultimate death. It sounds like, it's like when Makoto, every time we get into the trial, is like, it's time to face the horrible, terrible, most awful, excruciating, despair, toxic, awfulness of forever of Danganronpa school Monokuma time. Whatever the fuck. Like, he just rambles and rambles and rambles. After leaving the garbage pit, we found ourselves in a tunnel extending straight up like a chimney. There was a metal ladder leading up into the tunnel. We started climbing the ladder, intent on reaching the surface. Okay. The ladder was impossibly long. I couldn't even see where it ended. We climbed into darkness. The passage was so dark and cramped, I couldn't even see my own feet beneath me. I had no idea where we were so far down. They could have just, they could have done a top view instead with the drawing. Actually, if you kind of look at it from this angle, it kind of looks like they're in a cylinder, just crawling forward, almost.
Hey.
Don't lose your footing. If you slip, I won't be able to catch you. Yeah, I'll be careful. But now that you said that, I'm getting kind of nervous. Maybe talking will help keep my mind off it. So Kyoko, there's something I wanted to ask you. You said you're the ultimate detective, right? So how long have you been doing detective work? How long? Ever since I can remember. I come from a long line of detectives. Detective work is in my blood. There was a time when being a detective was considered a sacred duty. My family's always seen it that way. Then, is your family famous?
Wrong.
Quite the opposite, actually. Even among actual detectives, many people haven't heard of us. Huh? But how come? It's like your family tradition, right? So,
right.
Because we take pride in it.
Indeed.
Pride? A detective is neither light nor shadow. We represent neither justice nor evil. That is how we can uncover the absolute truth. We stand neutral in all things, and to do that, we have to stand separate from the rest of society. Which is why we made a conscious effort to conceal our existence. Conscious effort?
It's true.
And it's kind of old-fashioned, and I could say it's entirely rational. But it's our family creed, and we do what we must to protect it. Because like I said, it's our source of pride. Pride. So that explains Before I came here, when I was looking up info about school online, I never saw anything about her, because she hid herself on purpose to protect the pride of her family.
However...
And yet, I gave up some of that pride. Good, you know what they say, love's gonna get you killed, but pride's gonna be the death of you and me. Have you guys ever seen, I don't know what happened to it, it's not on TikTok anymore, I used to have it saved. Someone made a Star Wars edit with that audio, the pride from, I don't know who the artist is, I forget right now, but it was one of the most peak Star Wars edits of all time. And it's gone. I don't know. Sometimes, you save these edits, and if you really love it, download it because they get scrapped sometimes. I don't know why. In order to enter Hope's Peak, I had to reveal myself to the school. I did it knowing it was something a true Kirigiri detective would never do. A true Kirigiri detective. But the reason you gave up that pride, the reason you go so far to enter Hope's Peak, is because that's how much you wanted to reconnect with your dad, right? There's no shame in that.
What?
Reconnect? I had absolutely no desire to reconnect with my father. Huh? But you'd been reuniting after all those years, right? You would have had so much to talk about.
Wrong.
There's nothing I want to talk to my father about. There is something I want to say to him, though. What? No matter what it takes, I have to find him and tell him face to face. What is it? I want to sever all ties with him. Sever? The last time I saw him, I was still very young, so I don't remember myself, but apparently he was extremely intelligent. He was in line to become the next head of the Kirigiri family. He was talented. He had a promising future, but he had no interest in detective work, so he cut himself off from the family. Not long after that, my mother died and he simply ran away. So, why do you have to cut all ties with it? You're like, oh, I want to sever all ties with him. It sounds like that's already been done. He went to my grandfather, and they had a huge argument. And young as I was, he left me behind. I'm sure there was a reason for that. I'm sure your dad wanted to take you with him. If that's true, then I need to thank him. Thank him for leaving me. Because unlike him, I take pride in the work I do. I take pride in my family name. So every last part of me is happy he didn't take me with him. If I'd gone with him, I never would have had the chance to become a detective. I was above Kyoko on the ladder, so I wasn't able to see her expression. So I couldn't tell. I couldn't see how she looked when she said that. What she might have been feeling. All I could tell was that compared to her usual self, she was more talkative, more emotional. I don't blame him, He had his own life to live. That's what anyone in my position might say, right? But it's not true. But there's one thing that I can never forgive. Really? The way everyone else looked at me. I was never sad about being left behind. Like I said, I think it was a good thing. But when the rest of my family looked at me, they saw something different. They only saw me as the little girl that was abandoned by her father. That's how they see me now, even to this day. His shadow has been following me my entire life. I'm sick of it. I just bit my lip there when I said that. Ugh. I need him out of my life. I need to step out his shadow. That's why I have to find him and tell him we're no longer family. Already seems like it. In order to settle the past. In order to remove him from my life forever. I have no doubt he forgot about me years ago. But your family, to just cut him out like that?
Wrong.
Our only connection is through blood, nothing more. Are we connected by heart and soul?
Hey.
No. Is blood really enough to call someone family? Only connected by blood, not by heart or soul. I'm so shocked to hear her say something like that. I didn't know how to respond. So instead, I said nothing. And I kept on climbing. Just keep on climbing, keep on climbing. And after I don't know how long, we finally reached the top. Looks like this is it. On the other side of this door, Hope's Peak is waiting for us.
That's
We're back. Remember that hatch on the ground near the trash room? I'm fairly certain that this is where we'll come out. So why didn't you just go through this way? Why did you, come down through the chute and fall in trash? I unlocked it earlier, so it should open without much trouble. Well, here goes nothing. I reached my right hand up and pushed against the hatch. The hatch opened with ease, and so... Whoa. Looks like we're back. But I can't believe how long that ladder was. I'm exhausted. I can't exactly say we're safe and sound, but at least we're out of there. Now we're back in Hope's Peak Academy. Kyoko, thank you. I never would have gotten out of there without you. No thanks necessary. I was just returning the favor. Well, should we close this thing, or... Yeah, okay. Guess let's all get out of here. Oh, nope, we gotta talk to Kyoko. Because nobody can speak for themselves. We gotta initiate the conversation. So, now what do we do? Glad I didn't die, of course, but if the Mastermind finds out, I'm worried about you too. You helped me, so they might...
Listen.
You're worried? Yeah, of course.
So then...
Let's just get a concrete answer. Huh?
In other words...
Let's ask Monokuma if there's a problem with you escaping. Well, wait, that's...
However...
If we try to hide, it's only a matter of time till we're found out. And it's not like we can run away. As she said that, she pointed at the nearby surveillance camera. So you're saying rather than stressing out over getting caught, we should just give up now? Don't worry. What you think is going to happen isn't. Because the Mastermind is the one that's ensnared. The Mastermind is ensnared? You said something like that before. What does it mean?
So...
The Mastermind stood exposed during the investigation of Mukuro's death. There was a moment where the Mastermind let their guard down. There was? If we can talk to Monokuma, we can confirm it. It'll be better for us if we go to him directly before he tracks us down. That should help with our negotiations. I'm still a little... super uneasy about this. But we don't really have a choice, do we? Monokuma should be in the gym. Let's get going. To the gym! Oh, the trash room? I don't know why. So the trash room is like, yeah, its own room. For some reason, I thought it was just like the gate out and about, just like in this hallway that anyone could like pop into. Let's just teleport, make it quicker. Save as much time as we can to get through this series. This is the first floor, so gym should be... What the fuck? Where's the... Oh. I'm pretty positive there was a way to teleport directly to, like, in the gym, but perhaps not.
Well now.
Kyoko, I don't mind so much. But Makoto's supposed to be dead. What the hell is... well, what's he doing here? I thought he was going to say, what the hell? But I guess Monokuma is keeping it PG this time. That's exactly how I thought he'd react. Are we really going to be okay? You were supposed to be punished. Did Kyoko help you?
What?
So what if I did? What will you do? If the guilty party is exposed during the class trial, they alone will be executed. It's unfortunate, but that is the rule. So now I gotta punish you again. This time I won't leave anything to chance.
Right.
Kyoko, do whatever you feel you have to. What?
However...
But before you do, let me just say one thing. If you execute Makoto, that means you lose. Not that it matters to you, right? Huh? I lose?
Hey!
You, explain yourself. What do you mean by that?
Because...
Well, you set up this latest class trial yourself, right? I was getting in your way, so you wanted an excuse to kill me.
In other words...
I was supposed to be chosen as the Blackened, and then executed, right? Hey, what are you talking about?
However...
But when Makoto chose to overlook my lie, your plan came crashing down. The results of the trials weren't at all what you were expecting, because you never imagined that in that position, one person would protect another like that. And in response to that unexpected development,
Indeed.
you reacted by proclaiming Makoto the Blackened and trying to execute him. You made the choice out of desperation, no more than that. You must have realized that Makoto, who refused to be manipulated, was a threat to you as well.
However...
But then there was another unexpected development waiting for you. An entity that would throw a wrench, so to speak, in your precious execution machinery. Alter ego. You never imagined the possibility of being that could come to our aid, even after you'd killed it.
Am I wrong?
Now, here's the absolute truth. Makoto didn't kill Mukuro. You did.
Listen to me.
So executing Makoto for it would severely be a violation of your rules, which I know you love so much. If the Blackened is exposed, they alone will be executed. That's what you told us, right? And that means I lose? You talk a big game. You're saying the Blackened is me and not Makoto.
Well?
And you can prove this,
Wow.
right? No, I can't. Don't just say it like that. What is this, a comedy routine? To make such bold claims without a shred of evidence?
Doesn't matter.
I don't have any right now, but with a little more time, I guarantee I'll
That's
find
right.
some. Because no matter how deeply you try to bury it, there is only one ever absolute truth.
Pum, pum.
And now you're trying to talk like some kind of famous detective type.
Because
If Makoto really was the killer, he never would have come to you willingly like this. He would have feared for his life, feared another execution. He would have tried to run and hide. He would have been gripped by the despair you loved to inspire.
however,
But here we are, confronting you with nothing but hope in our
What
hearts.
the heck?
And that's supposed to be enough to convince me in the absence of evidence.
indeed.
It's not you I'm trying to convince. If you were to execute Makoto now, everyone out there watching this would be extremely displeased. Huh?
Indeed.
Imagine what everyone out there would think if you killed Makoto. They would assume that you killed him because what we said is exactly right.
Listen to me.
Despair can never kill hope.
Hey,
Of course, you can say we were just making this all up. You're welcome to prove us wrong. No, you have no choice but to prove it. Because if you kill Makoto without proving your own innocent, you'll be expecting your own defeat. Accepting. If you want to earn our despair, fair
That's
and
what we have
square,
to do.
then I suggest you take my advice. So, what is this advice of yours?
it's true.
To do Mukuro's trial over again. Only this time, you follow school regulations to ensure a fair
It's
trial.
time for one last showdown. One final battle
Oh.
between hope and despair. Hey,
Well, would that make for a proper climax, wouldn't you say? A fair trial, one last showdown. In other words, this would be our chance to expose the true identity of Mukuro's killer, of the Mastermind themselves. But what reason would the Mastermind have to accept the challenge? They'll probably just execute me without another word. Interesting.
Barrett!
Very interesting indeed. Barry?
What's wrong?
Oh, I was getting bored, so I decided to change things up a little. So time for bear jokes. Now, what you might have suggested might be plausible. It would certainly make for one honey of a
in
climax.
other words,
Does that mean you
You
accept?
guys?
If we do things your way, that'll be enough to convince you, and the viewers, right? And it would cause you unbearable despair, right? Then I'm pre-bear to agree to your terms. Will your hope win out, or will my despair claim victory?
I can barely contain myself!
Let's have one final grisly showdown. He agreed. Then we still have a shot at this.
Barrett!
But this is the long-awaited climax, right? Just guessing the killer is barely a fitting end.
Guys!
So for this final face-off, you'll have to unearth all the mysteries that have been buried here. All the mysteries? That's right, every last mystery that's pawing around the school. If you can do that,
barely
then that'll be
contain
enough to
myself.
qualify as a victory for
it's
you.
true.
That's what we've been trying to do all along. Okay, well good. Then let's bear it all. If you can claw your way to the truth of Mukuro's death and solve the mysteries of this school,
Guys!
then you win. But if you can't do all of that, we'll all face execution, right? I can barely contain my excitement. When you learn the whole truth, what kind of despair will you show me? There wasn't a bear pun that time. We're as excited as you are, I'm
Listen to
sure. When we uncovered our every last truth, how the ultimate bear spare reveal their own despair bear. I honestly can't believe that Kyoko was trying to help him out there with the bear puns. And how this has all turned out. But before we get started, I want to clarify one more thing. Do you remember the rule? When one student kills another, that's when a class trial is
What's
held.
wrong?
I remember that for sure. So what? I just want to confirm that is what you said, right? And it's a true statement. You don't have to be so suspicious. I've said it before, but it bears repeating. Everything is based on the school regulations. And having a trial for Mukuro is no exception to that. Huh? Mukuro's trial is no exception? Then it's a part of the regulations? Which have to mean that whoever killed Mukuro... It's a very polarizing approach, I know, but okay, enough puns. Anyway, here's a hint. I'm sure I told you this already, but this killing game began with 16 participants, all of them high school students. And the only people to take a single step in Hope's Peak since the killing game began are those 16 students. What?
Listen,
Are you telling the truth? Why'd he go quiet all of a sudden?
Now
I'm done talking. I got nothing left to say to you. So get lost, would ya? Why so mad? Why so angry? He seems emotionally unstable.
Hey!
Leave me alone. Get out of here. Okay, I'm going. You're really gonna let me go? I don't even care anymore. You're all gonna get your punishment later anyway. I need to start getting ready. A super duper extra special punishment overflowing with despair.
Hey,
Come on, Makoto. Let's go. Okay. Okay. Monokuma's unstable laughter seemed to cling to us as we walked away. And just like that, we were out of the gym. Well, let's talk to Kyoko a little bit more. I can hardly believe it, but somehow I ended up not getting executed. I still have my life, and we still have a chance. Overall, things turned out way better than expected. Once again, I was in Kyoko's debt. Okay, actually, we will end the episode here, because I thought they were just going to talk on their own. Alrighty. Peace out for now, guys. I'll catch you in the next episode. I think we'll be able to finish this soonish, because it's not really spoilers, but there's just one last trial. We're at the final. We got to just do a little exploring. Then we go to the last trial, and then that's the game. So, hopefully it shouldn't take us too much longer. So peace out for now. Catch you in the next episode. Bye-bye.